Hey guys, Jeremy here and welcome back to Hey Dad RC. And today I'm going to do a presentation video of my recently completed Tamiya G6-01 chassis done up with the King Yellow body. There isn't going to be a running video. Hopefully I can get a run in maybe tomorrow on Sunday. It'd be nice to get the first running video up there, possibly calling midweek for possibly winter weather. It might be rain, might be snow. We'll see, but it'd be nice to get the run out of the way tomorrow. But I got this chassis finished up today. I started it last weekend, so over the course of a couple weekend days we got it done. And as you can see, I went box art. I'm not terribly creative, but I just thought I would give you guys a look at the body, look at the chassis, and show you a couple things in the instructions if anybody else out there is going to build this that might help you out along the way. So like I said, we went box art, and for this one I used 2 cans of the Camel Yellow. I don't remember the name of the Tamiya paint off the top of my head, but I used 2 cans of that for the body, and then I used 1 can of their white spray to back the color with. Decals are pretty much straightforward on this one, and they do include window masks. Now this I didn't know, so it's going to be an error and probably going to show up on the camera, but running it, it's not really going to make a difference to me. But they give you window masks for both sides that stretch the entire way. So you put those on, and then you're supposed to cut out these little slats here. And looking at the decals when they were still on the sheet, the windows on the decals looked kind of mirrored to me. So I figured, do I really need to put the window masks on the side windows? So I didn't. Yeah, apparently you need to do that. We can see here, I mean, you can see it looks kind of mirrored on camera, but you can definitely see the yellow poking through. But what are you going to do? It's not a shelf queen, it's going to be a runner. But overall, I think the body came out pretty nice. These plastic light holders here on the corners, they're held in with sticky tape, and they actually seem to be doing quite a decent job there. This stop sign placard, I'll take this off, so we can see it's mounted with screws, and Tamiya has you use these little plastic bits to put on there and then put the screws through the screw into your stop sign on the other side. I could not for the life of me get those screws threaded through the plastic and into the sign to grab a hold of the sign whatsoever. Maybe it was something that I did wrong, but I came up with a different solution that seems to work just fine. I had some of that rubber tubing left over from previous kits that they give you a lot of times with kits that come with the friction dampers. So that worked out just fine. Like I said, decal placement was pretty straightforward and simple. There is some bubbling and some parts that the decals are coming up a little bit already, but all in all, I think it came out pretty well. And as far as the chassis, this is not this kit was not built stock. I got a complete bearing kit for it. This takes a lot of bearings. I mean, looking at this here, with your counter gears and your diff gears and everything, there's a lot of bearings, and a bearing kit for this I think was right around $40. So $40 for that. 3 cans of spray paint. I did put in a 25 kg, one of those Amazon servos that are, I don't know, 20-25 bucks. And instead of going with the stock silver can, I did put in a Sport Tune motor. So aside from the kit and the needed radio gear, all that stuff that I just mentioned was in the neighborhood of $100. But I always, as a standard practice for myself, I always get ball bearings for all of my builds anyways. This truck, when you complete it, there's going to be a ton of parts left on sprues. They give you multiple parts trees depending on how you build this. If you're going to go with the optional 4-wheel steer, which I didn't do, so there's going to be a lot of leftover parts. They give you 2 bumpers. The other bumper that they give you is quite a bit longer. And I don't think I do have it right here. And I might actually go ahead and swap those out and put this longer one on there now that I'm looking at it like this. But yeah, definitely going to be a lot of parts left in the box. This truck stock rides on friction dampers, but you know, it's a pretty hefty truck. There's definitely some weight to it. I'm not real worried about that. You also have, you know, there's no foam in these tires, in these Chevron tires, so the truck should, you know, soak up some of the bumps with the tires itself. I went with a simple. The labeling on it is Surpass Hobby. It's pretty much a Dumbo transmitter and receiver. It's a 4-channel, but I think that was under $30 as well. And I just happen to have a glow-backed 80 amp ESC that I'd taken out of Project Blue when I put a brushless system in that Stampede. So I had that sitting around, so that's what I used. Because this kit does not come with an ESC. I didn't realize that at first, and if I just looked more closely at the box, I would have realized that off the bat. But, you know, for the most part, if you guys have been around the channel, you know that I pretty much gravitate towards the more simple Tamiya kits. I'm not really into the big involved builds. And I was actually starting to take pictures of the build process that I was going to put together in a video, but I just kind of got lost in the build. And, you know, to me, running these are a lot of fun, but I also have a lot of enjoyment running these. And, you know, that's just kind of a me thing. I sit here on a weekend morning and get to building. So along the way, I stopped taking pictures because I was just enjoying the build. So I don't really have any of those that I'm going to put up. But, you know, this one, for what I normally build, it was definitely more involved, but not difficult whatsoever. Like I said, I built this chassis over the course of really basically a couple of days, several hours each day. I'm not a fast builder. I take my time. But a few things going through this that, you know, maybe I just didn't pay close enough attention. But when building this, number one, don't let all these gears get you down. If you're thinking about building this and you're looking at this thinking, oh man, this looks really tough, because it's not. But right here on each side of those chassis plates, you put this little what is that, E2 part. It's just a little plastic part that fits into there, and what that does is you put a step screw through there, and it holds the upper arm for the center suspension arm right here. Keep in mind when looking at that little tiny piece, like I said, there's one for each side, that there on the top, one side of it actually sticks up higher than the other. Keep in mind the direction of that when you're putting it onto the chassis and screwing that upper arm on there, because if you put it in backwards and you can thread the screw through there, it'll work, but it's really going to bind up that upper arm, and it's not going to swing freely as it was supposed to. So it took me a little bit to figure that out. So that's pretty much it, guys. The build went together quite easily. I had fun. I'm not the best body guy. You know, the decals aren't perfect. I did the best that I could. But like I said, I'm not the best at that. Body work is not my forte. A lot of you guys that I watch do amazing work, and that's just not me. So other than that, I didn't glue the tires onto the rims just yet. With that Sport Tune motor in there, I'm hoping that gives me just enough speed for what I'm looking for. Should I decide in the future to go brushless with this, I'll probably put some glue on the tires. But other than that, I just thought I would share real quick what tools I used in this building process. Again, in case somebody that's newer to the hobby's watching this and is looking for ideas possibly of what tools maybe they should get. First off, this is the best tool purchase for RCs that I have ever made. It makes building Tamiya kits, Kyosho kits, that much easier. And I think they're like 25 or 26 bucks on Amazon. You can get these. And, you know, you get a couple of hex drivers, a Phillips head, two Phillips head, a flathead, and 3 hex heads. It just makes the building process that much easier because those companies use JIS screws, and these Phillips heads fits on there perfectly. So that was the most expensive tool purchase for RC wise that I've made, and I absolutely love those. Other than that, you know, I got a set of curved body scissors. I got several of these. I got them years ago. Definitely helps a lot. I have tried the scoring and snapping method like a lot of guys use. I just can't do it. I'm no good at it. Those weren't expensive. Body reamer, not necessary, but a really nice tool to have to make your holes for the body. Just makes a nice rounded smooth hole. This I recently picked up on Temu. I don't know, it was like $2 or $3. It's just a shock tool, but I use these to hold the shock shaft in place, and that way you're not scratching up your shock shaft. I got a set of these. There's a third one around somewhere. I actually got these at Walmart. I use these to cut the sprues, to cut the parts off of the parts trees. I use this to grab onto the screws out of my parts bin because, you know, I got fat fingers. These work really well. You know, hobby knife. Pick these up almost anywhere. X-Acto knives. They're cheap. And especially when building the specifications on some of the Tamiya kits where you have to thread things in a certain amount. Digital caliper works really well. My battery's going in this one though. But I think again on Amazon this was $9 or $10. A really handy tool to have as well. Although in the Tamiya instructions they are, when they show you the part and how far you should thread it in, how many millimeters it should be, the diagram is a 1-to-1, so you can use a diagram, but I found using these to be pretty helpful. So I just thought I would include the tools that I use to build this kit and give you a brief overview. Like I said, hopefully we can get a run in tomorrow. Would be really nice if I can get a run video done, and I can post that up later in the week. Also, I've got another cheap indoor RC drift car from Temu that I hope to get a video done on that this weekend as well. But again, I just thought I would share my finished build of the Tamiya G6-01 King Yellow school bus. I think it looks pretty cool. Should be a lot of fun to run outside. So guys, as always, thanks for taking some time out of your day to check out my videos. And until next time, everybody stay safe. We'll see you around.